Hi everyone, my name is Lakeisha Allen. I am the founder of Grace in a Case, my new nonprofit organization. I founded Grace in a Case because I used to be that foster kid who was sent from placement to placement with my belongings in trash bags. I did not have a suitcase. I did not have a decent backpack to carry around school supplies or to carry around my personal items. I was that foster kid who was left on the porch of DHS at 15 years old with all of my belongings in a trash bag. I hated that trash bag then. I hate the trash bags now. I'm 41 years old, and yet foster teens are still traveling throughout the foster care system with their belongings in trash bags. I came up with my nonprofit because while there are many things that I cannot change within the foster care system, this is something that I can do to give foster teens back, not just foster teens, but foster kids as well, back their dignity in some kind of way. Just because you're entering in the foster care system, more likely than not, through no fault of your own, doesn't mean you have to be made to feel less than. And I just feel like allowing these children to enter into the system with a suitcase of their own personal belongings, a backpack of their own personal school supplies, will just give them that much more dignity. We all know that every system in this country is inundated with red tape. Foster parents, when they take in these children, especially on an emergency basis, the funds are not immediately available to them for them to go out and supply these children with what they need. So they end up having to borrow from here or borrow from there, or put this together or put that together. And generally, it's typically not something that fits the foster kid or something that the foster kid is accustomed to wearing. So I would like to at least alleviate a bit of the burden of entering the foster care system or transitioning through it. And that is what my organization is about. Today, on August 31st, 2020, this day for me is very surreal. I'm about to leave my home and I'm about to go to Costco to pick up my first monetary donation for my organization. I will be getting in contact with within DHS a little bit later today so that we can work on who my recipient will be. But at 41 years old, I am finally in a position to do something to help another foster child from feeling the way that I felt when I entered the system and when I was left on that porch. Foster children are just as important as any other child. They're not trash. They shouldn't be made to feel like trash. And they shouldn't have to carry the burden of walking around looking as if they don't matter because their belongings are in trash bags or because their school supplies are in plastic bags from the grocery store. We can give them some dignity. And these tears are happy tears because this is a full circle moment for me. All of my life I've told God that I wanted my life to have purpose and I wanted my life to have meaning. Make everything that I've gone through, everything that I've survived, everything that I've trusted you through, make it worth something, make it mean something. If I die today, what will my legacy be? What will the purpose behind all of my pain have been? So this is a big day for me. This is a huge day for me. I get to walk into Costco to pick up the first of many, many donations for Grace in a Case. The name of my nonprofit is Grace in a Case because I have the ability to effectuate change in these children's lives. The grace that God extends me daily, He is going to also help me to extend to these children in the form of a suitcase, i.e. Grace in a Case. This is a big day for me. I don't post a lot of videos. I have not talked a lot about my nonprofit organization because I went through a lot getting the 501c3 status that I now have. I went through a lot going after this first donation. But here I am. This is the first of many, many, many donations to come. There will be information to come in the next day or two for anyone who wants to donate to my nonprofit organization. This is going to be a big one. Lakeisha Allen. God is using Lakeisha Allen. God is using me to turn my pain into purpose. I'm going from that little girl sitting on that porch with all of her belongings in a trash bag to now being the provider of suitcases and backpacks to eliminate that image so that another young person is not having to walk around feeling horrible, feeling like they were nothing more than trash, as I did. This is a big moment. This is a big day for me. And I had to come on and share it, because to type it on Facebook, to type a post, I couldn't get the words out. And people tend to not read long posts. So I figured I'd just post a video to let you guys know that no matter what is going on, even in spite of this pandemic, God is still God, and He is still doing great and marvelous things. If nothing else, I can say Grace in a Case was born in the midst of a pandemic. God is still God, always on the throne. His plan never returns to Him void. His word never returns to Him void. If He put it in you, like He put this in me, it will come to pass if you trust Him. Those who know my story know that I have been through hell and back, literally. So it has been quite the fight to get to this point. But it is so worth it. When you start to see what the enemy was trying to keep you from, what he was trying to keep you from becoming, what he was trying to keep you from doing, who he was trying to keep you from touching, you'll understand the pain. You'll understand the purpose of the pain. You'll understand your purpose. I haven't even blessed a young person in the foster care system with this monetary gift yet. But even still, just knowing what is to come and knowing what I will be alleviating in their life, even just a little alleviation from a little bit of pain, I can honestly say that I would go through everything that I've gone through all over again if it meant that I could make this kind of a difference in the life of a young person. My pain wasn't for naught. Your pain isn't for naught. Life is difficult. Life is never going to be fair. But when you find your purpose in all of that despair, you'll realize that God has always been there. And He always will be. You guys have a blessed day. Look for information on Grace in a Case. It is definitely coming.